everybody, my name is Alixx from Growing Up Gantt, and I'm so excited to be doing this feature today. I just want to start off by saying how grateful I am to the Mom's View for choosing me to do the feature today. I have a very small channel right now because I just started recently to be featured on your guys' channel with some of my favorite YouTubers that I've been watching for a long time. I'm just so grateful for you guys, and I'm really excited to be doing the takeover. So if you guys are watching this and it's Friday, hop over to the Mom's View Instagram and check me out there. I'll be taking over on their stories. That way you guys can follow me along throughout my day tomorrow, and you can see my beautiful, chaotic life. As some of you may know, this month is Autism Awareness Month. So I wanted to bring light to my story as an autism mom and also my son, Liam. A little bit about myself. I am 27 years old. I'm a student. I'm a YouTuber. I am a mother to 3 kids. My oldest son, Liam, is 5 years old. Liam is autistic. And I have a 3-year-old, his name is Jackson. And my baby girl is 7 months today, actually, and her name is Gracie. Until recently, I've always been really afraid to put it out there, and today I'm going to share our story with you. Around the time that he turned a year old, I started noticing a few things different about him than other babies his own age. He wouldn't really respond to his name. He kind of remained like secluded. He would play, but more isolated play. Liam did not start walking until he was 18 months old. The talking never really took off, and he wasn't really progressing very much. So that's when I took him into his pediatrician's office and I wanted to get him evaluated. And they told me, you know, he's probably just a little bit behind. Some kids just don't like to be messed with. By the time he reached age 2, he still wasn't talking very much. We weren't seeing any progress. So this is when I started to get really worried. We started getting him evaluated. Once we got all of the evaluations in, I received a phone call with the results. I remember my heart was pounding so hard, and they said, you know, based on all of our evaluations together, we conclude that your son has autism. And I remember my heart sank. I felt like I was losing a child. I locked myself into my bedroom, closed the curtains, and just curled up into a ball and laid in the dark for 3 days. During that time, after I received his diagnosis, I couldn't stop thinking of all the things that he'll never do. I don't even like to think about it anymore, of all of the awful things that went through my head during that time. And it wasn't because I didn't believe in my son. It was because I had no idea what was ahead of me. If it wasn't for my husband during that time, I don't know how anything would have happened. I didn't do anything. I couldn't. And I went through emotions. I was angry at first. I was in denial. I was like, no, he's just behind. He can catch up. I wanted somebody to blame, and I wanted to figure out how to cure it, how to get rid of it, how do you fix autism. My husband came to me and told me, okay, say you do find what caused it. What are you gonna do about that? What are you gonna do with that information? And it was just an eye-opener for me. Put everything into perspective of there's nothing you can do to change that. Even if there was something specific that caused it, whatever it was, I can't undo that. You can't change the past. Once I got past that point, I was able to start focusing on moving forward. To anybody who's going through a difficult time of diagnosis or evaluation right now, the best thing that you can do for your child is figure out what's going to be the best way to help them struggle less. Once I got my mind set on that, things started changing. This is what my son has. He's autistic. This explains what's been going on these past few years. And I started looking into therapy. Anything that I could do for him to help him. Until recently, I would still refer to him as nonverbal because he can't really communicate very well, but I have to give him credit where credit is due, and he is talking so much more now. Liam started responding really well to sign language. We use sign language as a visual prompt, which basically just means that I will start him off with saying a sentence. If I know what he wants, I will prompt him to tell me, "Mommy, please, can I have food or drink," or whatever it is that he's asking for. So I've had to learn a little bit of sign language. Being an autism mom, especially of a child who cannot communicate very well, I worry about how he's going to take care of himself. If he's never able to fully communicate, he can become a translator. And I know it can be kind of crazy to think about that when they're 5 years old, but these are things that you tend to think about when you have a child who has special needs. I'm not gonna lie, having a child with autism can be so difficult. But I think because we struggle more, it's that much more beautiful. My favorite thing about being Liam's mom is he has taught me not to take anything for granted. One of my favorite moments that I've had with Liam, we were all sitting down and I started telling him, "I love you." And I remember he just looked at me and he just said, "I love you." I got so excited. I waited 4 years of being a mom for him to tell me, "I love you." And it couldn't have been any more perfect. So that is just such a special moment that I will forever hold in my heart. As soon as he said that, I realized that I've known that all along. For the longest time, I was just dying to have him tell me that. I wanted him to tell me he loved me back for so long. 4 years is a really long time to wait to hear that from your first child. So when he said it and I felt no different, I realized that love needs no words. I think we're already past the point of bringing awareness to autism. So what I like to spread is understanding. When you're out in public and you see another mom struggling with a child who's throwing a tantrum on the floor, maybe they're not just a bratty kid. Maybe it's a child who has autism and is having a meltdown. And these are all things that I never thought about before, because as I said, I didn't know anything about autism before. I personally had never even met anybody with autism, to my knowledge. I've never known anybody that has a child with autism, so I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't even have anybody to talk to at the time. So this is one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to start my channel, was to help out other moms. And I'm not saying that I know it all, because I'm still learning, but I do want to share what I've learned so far with moms who are where I was 3 years ago. All the time I hear from people, "Oh my gosh, you're juggling so many things," and my response is always, you know what, I don't call it juggling as much as it is trying not to let all the balls hit the floor. I think all of us, we see a certain view on social media, and I try to show as much as I can of the struggles as well as the beautiful parts of life. On my channel, you're gonna see some of those struggles, and I talk about them all the time, and I'm open about them because I don't want people to think that my life is perfect, that I have it all together, that I know what I'm doing all the time. I don't. And sharing those experiences with everybody can help us all do better as mothers. Come on over and come follow me, join me, send me a message. I would love to connect with you guys and hear from you and answer any questions that you guys have. And also join me on Instagram. This is the best way to reach me, is on Instagram. And I just wanted to say thank you again to the Mom's View. I don't think I can explain how grateful I am to have this opportunity to be featured on their channel today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.